Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you for being with me again today. Got some news about the recognition of the new independent republics in East Ukraine, the ones that Russia liberated. And it seems like there are some countries already ready to push the button of recognition. Of course, that should be interpreted of, being some of Russia's friends, maybe former former Soviet republics. Well, let's see what this article can tell us about it. This article comes from actually Ukrainska Pravda, so that's a Ukrainian media outlet, from June 16th, 2022. And this is the title, Occupiers, that means one of the Donetsk or Luhansk regions, glad that Syria and a number of other countries ready to recognize Russian-occupied parts of Donetsk and Luhansk regions. Well, that's like Kosovo, right? Some countries recognize Kosovo, some countries did not recognize Kosovo. Leonid Pashishnik, the head of the self-declared separatist. Now, obviously, the wording here is done by the Ukrainians, who obviously are upset about everything that happens over there. So they will use all kind of words, like in the title they use occupiers, Russian occupied parts. And then here it says the head of the self-declared separatist, Luhansk People's Republic, LPR, claimed that at the moment Syria, and I'm quoting, Syria and a number of other countries, end quote, are ready to recognize, and I'm quoting, the independence, end quote, of the Russian-occupied Donbas territories. Details. Pashishnik didn't clarify which other countries are ready to recognize the areas known as certain area of the Donetsk and Luhansk regions. He also claimed that the majority of residents of the so-called People's Republic of Luhansk, and I'm quoting, are in favor of the integration into Russia, end quote. He is certain that the Azot chemical plant in Severodonetsk will be taken by the Russians, but he is afraid to say when exactly. Wait, now don't be bad. How would he know? Probably he just has the, wishing. He wishes, and I think that's going to happen, like the Azovstal steel plant in Mariupol. But nevertheless, he can't say when. I mean, what, in 3 days and 4 hours and 25 minutes and 10 seconds. All right. Background. At the meeting of the Russian Security Council on 21st February, Vladimir Kolostsev, the Russian Minister of Internal Affairs of the Russian Federation, suggested recognizing the so-called LDPR, Luhansk and Donetsk People's Republics, within the administrative borders of the Donetsk and Luhansk Oblast of Ukraine before their partial Russian occupation, from Mariupol to those historical borders, end quote. Vladimir Putin, the Russian president, signed a decree on the recognition of those two republics and treaties of friendship, cooperation, and mutual assistance with separatist leaders Denis Pushilin, DPR, and Leonid Pashishnik, LPR. In the treaties, the signatories, and I'm quoting, confirm and respect the territorial integrity and inviolability of the existing borders of one another. On 22nd of February, the State and the Federation Council of the Russian Federation ratified the treaties on on friendship, cooperation, and mutual assistance, end quote, with the self-proclaimed DPR and LPR. It's good that it's not NPR. Anyway, they declare independence. Then these guys recognize them. It's the same thing with the Crimea. And of course, as I said, I mentioned at the beginning of this video, Kosovo was not recognized by all the countries, including Romania, if you just want to mention one of NATO, European Union members. And just so you know, the Romanian president, the president of Romania, Klaus Iohannis, that's a German name, he is actually from my hometown. And he was a professor, a teacher at high school I attended. Funny, huh? Nevertheless, this guy is he's in Kiev right now, and he's all for Ukraine and recognizing all this, and he's for the membership status or something like that, fast membership application status for Ukraine, but he doesn't recognize Kosovo. He knows better. You know why? Because if he would recognize Kosovo, then he would have the whole Romania on his head, or at least the ones that are still having something in here, and on his head to, wake him up about Transylvania, which the Hungarians obviously and Romanians dispute. And that's why a lot of countries that have this kind of disputes and territorial disputes, they don't recognize Kosovo for the same reason, because if they would recognize that, they would say, okay, then if you recognize that, then you can recognize this one in your country. How about that? So they don't want to open any door towards that kind of scandal. Nevertheless, Syria obviously recognized Lugansk and Donetsk People's Republic, and I'm assuming Turkey will recognize that, and that would be a big deal. And I tell you why. Syria is doing that because without Russia, Assad would have been gone for a long time. Gone, like Gaddafi kind of gone. And in the same way, and by the same guys, and by the same orders, and by the same executioners. You saw the videos with Gaddafi, who did good things and bad things, like you and I. And on his times, just look what he did over there with, for instance, with irrigation, with water. Just watch some videos on that, and you will be surprised. You would not find that. Maybe you find that kind of infrastructure work maybe in 3-4 countries on this planet of that magnitude. I don't know if it's anything that fits that. Extraordinary for his power, and more than that. I mean, he was ruthless, and he was a dictator, and he was, I have no nothing to defend there, but you can point out the things that he also did, and the way he was killed by the mob that was sent over there. And just watch some videos on YouTube. And by the way, you can also watch this guy, the bad guy Putin, who asks about and who tells you who sent whom to find Gaddafi, and who found Gaddafi, and who called for whom, and what happened next. I don't have to tell you that. I think that guy knows more than I do regarding that issue by a very great extent or margin. Nevertheless, so as I said, Sadat, I always, Sadat, Assad for me sound the same. I know he's not the same person. So Assad would have been gone, Gaddafi style, a long time ago. So he's going to say, yes, yes, whatever. Yeah, that's what it is. And there will be some countries that will recognize those Lugansk and Donetsk People's Republic. I guarantee you, even outside of the former Soviet Union, there will be some countries. You'll see in Latin America, maybe Venezuela and Cuba, and maybe we'll see. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.